I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator. I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean. I've been looking for you for so long.
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your mom.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Sean, open the door.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Sean, please. Calm down. I'll get you out of there.
Father? Father, help me! She's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
I could kill you. Right here. Right now.
Yes. Yes, you could. And I would be powerless to stop you.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am Your son.
Bullshit!
Is it? After all the things you've seen and experienced in the Commonwealth? Think about it. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being, walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you?
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course, but it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
60 years. So much time. Wasted.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your father. He never got to see you grow up.
Yes. What happened to him was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems what happened to him was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But What matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So, you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
But, Director? Why you?
I was the most qualified for the position, obviously. I've lived my life within these walls, dedicated to science like every other member of the Institute. My hard work has paid off. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
Maybe. I don't know. This is so much to take in.
I know. And I am sorry. You have been through so much in such a short time. The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
Are you sure you want this?
Yes, I am. It would benefit us both to work together.
I just don't know.
Just give it time. Give the Institute a chance. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Sean, about this synth.
You mean the child? It's a fascinating project, really. There are issues to be solved, of course, but we've made remarkable progress.
Why build it to look like you?
We'd advanced the technology behind synths to a point where this struck me as an interesting variation. A new angle, if you will. Modeling it after myself seemed only natural, what with the Institute's records on my genetics and physiology. I'll make sure it's brought back online in the near future. You'll have an opportunity to interact with him further. But I'll admit I'm curious. As a parent looking for a child, looking for the younger version of me, what do you think? Do you think you could love him? Like you would a real boy?
I don't need a synth. I found the real Sean.
Yes, but not the Sean you were looking for. In some ways, the synth is far closer to what you expected. I wouldn't claim to know everything you're feeling, but if in some small way the boy's presence can help, I hope you'll keep an open mind.
Almost done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo. That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course. We're all looking forward to working with you.
Nothing to report, ma'am.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
Doctor?
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the Facilities Division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm just looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here, not like topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place, originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Did I turn off the interferometer?
You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do. I hope all your needs are being seen to. You just let me know if they're not.
Doc?
Welcome, welcome. It is so good to meet you. I truly hope you'll come to think of the Institute as your home.
What do you do here?
Oh, I'm in charge of housing and provisions. It's my mission to ensure that everyone lives a comfortable and productive life. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
They're dragging their feet
Pardon
on the
me,
targeting
ma'am.
package upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You
Glad
going
you made
soft
it.
on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Like any machine, a synth can malfunction. Just wish it didn't happen so often.
If the robotics division was a little more careful, we wouldn't have synths trying to escape.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
Hi, Doc.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider. The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Why would synths want to escape?
Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines. As to why they're escaping? That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I hate to break it to you, but your Courser wasn't all that tough.
Then it's likely the unit was defective. It's rare, but faults can occur from time to time. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
You mentioned that Coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
Have you had time to examine my latest reports on Batch 274?
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand...
Dr. Holdren's Synth Gorilla project is showing promising results.
Feels like this project has been going on for months.
Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. Those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
They're still people, and they're suffering. We can at least admit that it's regrettable. After all, how can we hope to redefine mankind if we can't even hold on to our own humanity?
Well, that's a question best left to our colleagues in the robotics division.
Yes, well... I suppose you're right.
It's great to have you here.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
Like what?
I was just about to explain that. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm an outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You mentioned medical care? I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
It's an honor to have you here, ma'am.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
Dr. Lee.
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
I wasn't aware that I needed authorization.
Father may have given you the keys to the castle, but this is still my laboratory. If you plan to stay down here with us, you need to learn how things work.
Is this how you treat everyone? Or are you just putting on the charm for me?
I wasn't aware that I had to answer to you at all. You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
You're the scientist. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, let's see. A Brotherhood of Steel airship arrives in the Commonwealth. You find a way to intercept our teleport signal, and now you show up at my door. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
Why would we want you dead?
I did some pretty sensitive work for the Brotherhood of Steel. Even though Lyons let me go, there were a few others in the ranks that thought I knew too much. That's why I came to the Institute. It was the only place that I thought I'd be out of the Brotherhood's reach and still be able to do my research. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Are you happy here?
You'd think being surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known would be enough. Only problem is the lack of transparency. I don't think we get the full story on everything that occurs down here. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
You should return to the Brotherhood.
Even if I wanted to return to them, why would they want me back?
The Brotherhood is having problems, and we need your help.
I don't see how that's my problem. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here, a Dr. Virgil. Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated. The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do we have a deal?
I know this may come as a shock, but Dr. Virgil is still alive. I met him myself.
Oh, please. Do you really think a cheap tactic like that is going to work on someone like me? Stop trying to avoid the legwork by lying. Either you get me the evidence, or we have nothing else to talk about. Deal?
Deal.
All right. Dr. Virgil's lab was in the Biosciences Division. I can give you a code that will get you into the section, but the lab itself has been sealed, so you'll have to breach it on your own. I'd tell you to be quiet about it, but your Brotherhood and discretion isn't exactly your strong suit. And finally, if you get caught, we never had this conversation. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
A courser chip? What's it do?
The same thing it does for our coursers. Creates a link to the relay that allows them, and now you, to get in and out at will. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Speaking of, I trust our discussion will remain between the two of us. Now, I need to get back to work, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
In case anyone didn't mention it, quiet time runs from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
It's really exciting having you here. I can't wait to see what you can do.
Now that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
First things first. How do I get back to the surface?
The same way you got in, of course. You are not a prisoner here. You may come and go as you please. Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind, redefined. Unfortunately, no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
So, it's like every other wonder gizmo ever invented. When will you eggheads learn?
Have faith. Let me show you how we deal with such problems. A rogue synth has taken over the raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
Who erased his memories? And why?
Those idealistic radicals who call themselves the Railroad are behind it. We'll deal with them in time. But right now, the priority is to reclaim that synth before more harm is done. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Just a limb twitching.
Power armor is effective, sure, but it's hardly efficient.
Involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what it is.
If you're about to launch into one of your impassioned speeches about artificial sentience and machines with souls, don't bother. I've heard enough of them by now. Hell, I could write them down from memory.
But we can't just ignore the question. If a synth can dream, why can't it have a soul? And if a synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every standard we can measure. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines, so we can do what we want with them.
If you disapprove of the work we do here, Dr. Benet, you know where to find the teleporter.
Now just a moment. I never said that.
3 levels
I'm
of
simply
approval.
trying to
You
open
believe
everyone's
that?
eyes
3.
to new possibilities.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, not philosophers. You do well to remember that.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I've increased synth responsiveness by 0.04%.
With our third-generation synths, we've improved upon humanity.
Power armor? What would you need that for?
We're quite fortunate to have the synths to aid us.
I can't imagine living on the surface. It sounds like a nightmare.
Hello.
Welcome to the Institute. Please step right this way.
Father's a great man. You must be very proud.
Sean todos bienvenidos a un episodio más. Después de estos pequeña introducción, donde hemos conocido un poco más de lo que parecía ser un temible enemigo, nos encontramos con pues, varias sorpresas, ¿no? Entre ellas que estábamos más conectados con ellos de lo que esperábamos. Para este episodio, bueno, tenemos muchas cosas que hacer. Y para concluir este acto en su totalidad, pues vamos a dejarlo lo más avanzado posible, para después de ahí dirigirnos a lo que será el final con alguna de las tres facciones. Sí, así es, Alan. Muy bien, para iniciar vamos a ir por las pruebas que nos pidió la doctora y de paso cumplir nuestra promesa con Virgil. Es importante que esto lo hagan a la brevedad posible, ya que empieza un contador automático al momento que llega aquí. Y en caso contrario de que no consigan las pruebas o el encargo de Virgil, perderán la posibilidad de completar correctamente su misión. Así que vamos para allá. Si se están preguntando dónde saqué esta armadura, los invito a ver los videos de misiones secundarias. La lista completa se encuentra en la descripción de este video, para que así puedan ver cómo se obtuvieron algunas armas, que vean que utilizo a lo largo de esta guía y tengan clara cómo se obtuvieron. Así que vamos a acceder. Bueno, agarrar la chatarra del instituto es bastante buena, da una gran cantidad de aluminio e incluso material nuclear. Así que ya tenemos para cumplir nuestra promesa Virgil. Y no solo eso. Parece que nuestro amigo estaba envuelto en cosas bastante tenebrosas.
Personal record, Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my last recording. My requests to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop. If anyone should find this after I'm gone, know that I never wanted to hurt anyone. Anyone. Do you understand me? I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me. Everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
Parece que ya hemos encontrado la razón de por qué nuestros amigos de la Commonwealth, los supermutantes, también vienen acto de presencia aquí en la Commonwealth. Ya sabemos quiénes son los responsables. Ahora bien, vamos a irnos de este lado. Se encuentra toda una ruta bastante larga que pueden explorar por algo de materiales y armas extra. Por cierto, está plagado de trampas. como habrán visto.
Synth Unit, you were scheduled for maintenance duty in SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duties, as usual.
Dr. Ao saw you accessing a terminal. You know you are not permitted to access terminals in that section. Is Dr. Ao mistaken?
Yes. I mean, no, he's not. But I was only...
What is it? Were you or weren't you accessing a terminal in SRB?
I was, but I swear it's not what it sounds like. I was cleaning the terminal, and it switched on by mistake. I was just shutting it down.
Was that a stutter? Have you developed a defect, Unit? Maybe you need to be reset.
Sir, I assure you that won't be necessary. It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. You don't want me to tell you twice. Now get back to your duties.
We are honored to welcome you here.
Ahora bien, una vez que tenemos las pruebas, podemos empezar a completar esta misión secundaria, que antes de venir aquí nos encargó el maestro, que era convencer a esta doctora para completar cierto proyecto. Esto nos dará acceso a una serie de misiones secundarias. En caso de que se la salten esta parte y no la quieran completar, se activarán otras misiones que realmente son muy similares, únicamente cambia el personaje para el que trabajaremos. En vez de ser esta doctora, será otro personaje secundario que tendremos que reclutar por medio de otra misión secundaria. Sea como sea, el resultado es el mismo, y realmente no afecta nuestra relación con ninguna de las facciones. Así que en esta ocasión, por motivos de la historia, pues completaremos la misión y le daremos las pruebas para reclutarla para la hermandad. Así que vamos allá.
Here you go. A holotape. This better not be a waste of my time. They lied to me. They lied to me, and I didn't even realize how far it went. All those years of loyalty. For nothing.
No matter how badly it hurts, you needed to hear the truth.
And for that, I thank you. I came to the Institute to get away from the Brotherhood. From the whole world. I just wanted to do my research in peace. Father took me in and gave me access to cutting-edge technology that I only dreamed existed. I became jaded. I thought that the Institute cared, that they wanted to better mankind. Maybe in their own twisted way they still do. But now I realize if you can't trust the people you're working for, then it's all pointless. If they lied about Dr. Virgil, who knows what else they've been lying about? Or what their plans are for my work. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee.
Bien, ya que tenemos completada esta parte, nos vamos a dirigir a cumplir nuestra promesa con el Vault-Tec antes de que se nos pase el tiempo y no podamos hacerlo. Así que vamos con él.
Well, I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
It did, but I pulled myself together.
I suppose you did. Now, what about the serum? Did you find it?
I've got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see. Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable.
Thanks,
Transcriptive
Nose.
exon
Really
strands have formed.
So, it's good?
There's only one way to find out. All right. Here we go. And now, we wait.
That's it?
What? Did you expect me to transform right before your eyes? This is science, not a two-cap magic show. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and... well, I guess we'll see. In any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
Virgil.
I'm going to get some rest.
Y por lo pronto es lo que podemos hacer. Así que vamos a ir a hacer otras cosas. Lo que le hace efecto el suero.
Excuse me, Elder Maxon.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
Will she be harmed if she doesn't cooperate?
Absolutely not. We have big plans for Dr. Lee, including the resurrection of one of her greatest creations. The last thing we'd want to do is kill the Golden Goose. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Pridwin. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, I believe you still possess an important piece of data that Proctor Ingram is eagerly awaiting. I want you to bring it to her immediately. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Ahora sí vamos a hablar con Ingram, a ver qué tiene que decirnos. Les recuerdo una vez más que antes de hablar con Ingram, le quiten cualquier material que él tenga guardado el buen Nance. De lo contrario lo perderán, ¿ok? Esta es la última advertencia para que no les caiga de sorpresa cuando desaparezca el personaje. ¿Cuál es la razón exacta? Tendrán que seguir viendo para averiguarlo. Así que vamos con Ingram.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
You mean being zapped into energy and then put back together again? Piece of cake.
You can make jokes all you want, but I wouldn't put so much faith in technology I didn't understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
Hopefully it'll reveal a weakness in their defenses.
That would be the best case scenario. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, I've got a new assignment for you. So, I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
Why all the secrecy?
We're pouring every resource we have into this thing. We can't risk tipping off the Institute. For now, the fewer people that know about it, the better. Come on, it's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Prydwen might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in. This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded. In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
It'll take a miracle to get this pile of junk operational.
You think he looks rough now? You should have seen him when I unsealed the salvage crates filled with his parts. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take more than a few rivets and some spot welding to get them working again. The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
Why is the power blowing out his CPU?
Liberty Prime has a highly complex power system. A good deal of that system was damaged when he exploded. So I'm working in the dark, trying to come up with parts on my own. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Proctor Ingram.
Head up to the Prydwen and tell Dr. Lee we need her help. I'll see what I can do down here.
Les comento que si no completan la misión de esta manera, este cuarto permanecerá inaccesible. Realmente tampoco es que se pierda gran cosa, pero no está de más en esta guía 100% completa pues mostrárselo, ¿no? Como les comenté desde un principio, vamos a hacerlo lo más extensa posible. Y no se preocupen, el buen Liberty Prime volverá a la vida gracias a nosotros. Y como vemos, su versión de Fallout 4 es mucho más impresionante. Y eso que está ahorita en pedazos, pero no se preocupen. En unos episodios más podrán verlo cómo se ve este pequeño monstruo.
I just heard the most fascinating rumor. The story goes that you actually found the Institute. Been there and back again. Sounds crazy, right?
Where'd you hear that?
Deacon brought it to my attention. And, as usual, he won't give up his source.
It's all true.
Deacon says you used teleportation. I can't imagine. We know you got inside with the help of the Brotherhood of Steel. My hope is you've infiltrated them for us. Or, at the very least, your true loyalty lies with us. So let's put it to the test. We have a vital mission that only you can carry out. You up to it?
I'll do the mission, then.
You have no idea how relieved I am to hear that. What I'm about to tell you is the most closely guarded secret the Railroad has. It's time you learn about Patriot. There's a man, or woman, we're not sure, inside the Institute, who helps synths escape to freedom. Dozens of synths owe him their lives. We don't know his name. We've never had a way to contact him. So we gave him the codename Patriot. So you need to infiltrate the Institute and make contact with Patriot.
How do I make contact?
Tom devised a way to send a message to Patriot. We can plant a coded message on an Institute terminal. And, if all goes well, he'll respond. Just see Tom, and you can proceed from there.
Hey, it's Charmer. Charmer's back.
Oh, man, you were actually there? Inside the belly of the beast? No time for that, though. Let's set you up to contact Patriot. I got here one genuine Tinker Time special. Just load her up onto a holotape, plug her into any Institute terminal, and execute.
Ahora bien, después de esta pequeña desviación para que nos dieran esta misión, ahora sí vamos a dirigirnos con el cazacintes para la otra misión que tenemos pendiente. Así que vamos allá.
Yes? I'm ready to move in, ma'am.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, ma'am. Designation X688. I've already neutralized the perimeter guard. Just give the word, and we can start the assault on the main flotilla.
Courser, good fighter. Strong legs.
What do we know about this synth, Gabriel?
Designation B592 is holed up in the shack on top of the upended cargo ship. He's probably got his best fighters with him, so we should plan on heavy resistance. So, are you ready to go in?
All right, let's go.
Right behind you, ma'am.
Muy bien, vamos a patear traseros de cinte. Cabe destacar que en esta zona es muy fácil que se caigan y se pueden ir hasta el fondo si no tienen cuidado. Y empezaron los balazos. Aquí conforme se acercan la cosa se va a poner más complicada, ya que el tipo tiene un Fatman. Entonces tienen que tener cuidado porque de lo contrario les puede dar un solo tiro y fulminarlos.
Hold up a moment, ma'am. There's something important I need to tell you.
What is it?
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, it'll reset his cognitive processes and make him docile. You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon. Once he's shut down, I can transport him safely back to the Institute.
Jesus, what a mouthful.
Strong agree. Too much talk.
Then talk fast, ma'am. Just make sure you get it right. That's all, ma'am. Ready when you are.
Well
Judging
done.
by your gear, I'm gonna guess you two are agents
Just
of the
like
Institute.
me. So, made it to the top.
Tell me, is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
B592 initialize factory reset. Authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
Boss? Are you okay? Gabriel, can you hear me? Shit, they did something to him!
Please don't run.
My arm is broken!
You think that hurts now?
That's it. Nice work, man. I'll take the synth back. This is X688, ready to relay with reclaimed synth B592.
Yes.
Después de ese tremendo tiroteo ya podemos dirigirnos otra vez al instituto a completar la misión, pero previo a eso vamos a hacer una pequeña parada en una zona conocida como la planta de energía Poseidón, la cual se encuentra en la parte sur del mapa. Siendo más preciso, un poco más abajo de donde nos encontramos. Y aquí la pueden ver, la forma más rápida de llegar es por la hacienda Warmick o la casa de Peabody. Tengan cuidado porque estamos cerca de, ¿cómo se llaman? Las ruinas de Quincy, las cuales, como recordarán, se encuentran habitadas por los Gunners. Entonces puede representar una tremenda batalla si no tenemos cuidado. ¿Por qué nos vamos a dirigir ahí? Pues muy bien, hay una pequeña sorpresa que necesitamos de esa fábrica, así que vamos para allá.
Perfect.
Y esa será la razón principal de nuestro pequeño desvío.
Bingo.
Además de esa revista, por supuesto. Después de esta batalla y haber conseguido el ítem que necesitamos, ya únicamente deberían de faltarle 2 cabezones para tener absolutamente todos. Como habrán de esperar, solo en esta guía les indicaremos dónde se encontrarán los últimos. Realmente van muy de la mano en el modo historia, entonces son prácticamente imperdibles. Entonces sigan viendo la guía para completar al 100% el juego y tener todos sus trofeos de platino. Ya que a esta altura, como les comento una vez más, ya nada más deberían de faltarle 2.
Protect and serve.
Welcome back. It needs some refinement, but I think we can consider my serum a qualified success.
This is a qualified success?
There were some side effects to the process. I seem to have hair again, and I've retained some muscle mass. The genetic resequencer needs more work. Still, I take your point. This is a significant advance, but only for one strain of FEV. It will take years, perhaps decades, to generalize my formula. Still, you have my gratitude. You're welcome to make use of my lab. Or help yourself to any of this junk, if you want it. In the meantime, I have a lot of experiments to run. Excuse me.
Protect and serve.
Virgil.
Y después de esta pequeña sorpresa nos damos cuenta que el buen Virgil ha vuelto a ser humano. Ahora bien, como nos ha dicho, ya podemos tomar todos los materiales sin penalización alguna. Y hay un par de cosas.
Virgil?
Sorry, I'm rather busy right now.
Estoy muy ocupado. Un par de cosas importantes. La primera de ellas es, bueno, si lo llegáramos a matar, obtendríamos un arma especial, además de su traje de laboratorio. Esa arma especial que se llama el rifle de Virgil no es un arma muy poderosa, pero bueno, si les gana la, ¿cómo se llama?, la tentación, pues ya se lo pueden ejecutar en este momento y ya pueden obtener el arma. Pero en esta ocasión no lo vamos a hacer porque la verdad no lo necesitamos para nada.
Sorry, I'm rather busy right now.
Y ya estamos de vuelta en el instituto. Ahora bien, para la misión que tenemos encubierta para el ferrocarril, vamos a utilizar esta terminal. ¿Por qué esta? Porque es la más cómoda de utilizar y normalmente está un poquito más alejada. Además de que tenemos este espacio cerca para poder esperar. Así que vamos a hacer la misión. Y esa fue una respuesta rápida.
Hey, it's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know, the encryption algorithm.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious hardware to pull that off. Wow, your message was only one word. Friend. What did you mean by that?
The railroad sent me to look for someone they call Patriot. That's you.
What? The railroad? As in the railroad? And they gave me a code name too? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the railroad got to some of them, but I never knew for certain.
Why are you helping synths?
At first, I just wanted to see if I could get away with it. It was a challenge, you know? But then I realized the synths are really just like us, except without any freedom. I decided to help the ones that wanted to escape, so they can have a better life.
How did you help the synths escape?
Through hacking. The departments focus their best talents on hard science. Why waste time on terminal security, right? The SRB is the exception, and unfortunately, they control which synths go to the surface. But a forged work order from, let's say, bioscience can get a hand-picked synth on surface detail. And it turns out the railroad was waiting for them. Wow.
You've saved a lot of synths.
So much to take in. But wait, with you in the picture, I have this idea. To rescue a lot of synths at once. But we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now. You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface. But that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense. I'm not sure if we could ever make the surface actually a decent place to live. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't at least try to help, you know?
Si tú lo dices.
He's here. C-114. It's me.
Sir, do you require something?
It's okay, Z1. She's a friend. She's with the railroad.
Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You. How do I know we can trust you?
Who are you?
My designation is Z-114, a simple maintenance synth.
She's not from here. She's been helping our synths escape on the surface. It's safe.
If you insist we speak in front of her, do so quickly.
Right now. How many synths want to escape, Z1?
The ones I know for certain? 13.
That'll take forever. Let's free those 13 all in one go.
I would do anything for my people. But how do we get them to the teleporter? It's no good. The old maintenance tunnels that lead there are always sealed. By the SRB.
If I can find a way to open those doors, could you get your synths to the teleporter room?
Yes. We'll talk later. Someplace more secure.
Liam.
Just a few high-security doors, right? Controlled by cutting-edge SRB security tech. Yeah. A head-on hack is the sucker play. So we go at them sideways. You're willing to help, right? I can't do this alone.
It depends on what you need.
Our core security architecture hasn't fundamentally changed from the old CIT days. The original security program was called Code Defender. Revolutionary stuff. We still have terminals running version 1, mothballed in storage. With some persuasion, I can get an old terminal to interface with the new security terminals. Enough to open doors, at least. Problem is, I can't even crack version 1. So I need a good old-fashioned username and a password. And that's nowhere to be found in the Institute. But if you could get me a pre-war admin password from the surface, I could log right in.
Where would I find that?
Unfortunately, I don't know. The obvious place won't work. The CIT ruins were picked clean years ago, but some of the admins had to live off campus. Ask your friends in the railroad. I need those login credentials.
Bueno, antes de ir con Desdemona vamos a completar la misión que tenemos pendiente y ver qué pasó con ese cinte que se creía un saqueador.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
I don't care about who's to blame. I just wanted to stop a killer.
Yes, of course. Your pragmatism is admirable. It does matter, though. If everyone sees the Institute as a villain, dangerous forces could align against us. If we can put the lie to such assumptions, we diminish that threat. But enough about that. The task is done. And you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Your quarters are just inside, ma'am. When you're
Oh Dios,
here,
por fin.
Father wants to see you.
Si me disculpan, vamos a un momento de privacidad.
Ya, Fifi, abajo.
Y después de haber recogido todo lo que necesitamos de nuestra habitación, este lugar lo pueden usar como un lugar seguro. Y tiene varios aditamentos interesantes, como el que acabamos de ver hace un momento. Cosas que seguramente no encontraremos en ninguna otra parte de este lugar. Pero bueno. Ahora bien, antes de iniciar la batalla de Bunker Hill, en la lista secundaria de videos les recomiendo ampliamente completar las otras dos misiones, ya que será más fácil hacerlo en este momento. Tampoco es que las puedan fallar, al menos todavía no, hasta que avancen cierto punto en el juego, pero ampliamente lo recomiendo hacer de una vez. Ahora bien, para practicar cuestiones prácticas de esta guía, simplemente vamos a seguir avanzando con la misión de Bunker Hill, y para aquellos que quieran hacer las otras dos misiones, pueden acceder a ellas, en la lista de videos secundarios. La decisión es de ustedes. Previo a continuar nuestra misión en Bunker Hill, quiero que vean ese personaje que se llama Justin Ayo. Ese personaje da una misión secundaria que requiere varias cosas para poderse activar. La misión se llama Tapando tuberías, Plugging a Leak en inglés, y se resume a hablar básicamente, encontrar a Liam, nos habla un poquito más de su pasado y también el por qué quiere ayudar a los sintes. Desafortunadamente en esta ocasión no se las puedo mostrar, ya que para poder obtener no debemos de habernos unido al ferrocarril. Es decir, hubiéramos tenido que sacrificar la valiosa fibra balística para completar esa misión. La recompensa son unos anteojos únicos que están viendo ahora mismo en pantalla. Entonces, para aquellos que quieran iniciar pues una segunda partida, pues a lo mejor se pueden poner de objetivo conseguirlos. Ahora bien, hay otra misión que también se puede obtener únicamente aquí en el instituto.
Yes, I'm sure that whatever you have to say is very interesting, but now simply isn't a good time.
Someone's a little full of himself.
Hardly. There is no place for ego in science. I'm simply trying to tell you in as polite a manner as possible that I am busy. Now, goodbye.
Este personaje llamado Isaac nos debería dar una misión que se llama Construyendo una mejor cosecha, pero para poderla activar se requiere no tener la hacienda Warmick como asentamiento, ya que hay dos NPCs ahí que por alguna extraña razón tienden a morir en ataques aleatorios y en consecuencia hacen la misión injugable. Por lo tanto el NPC ni siquiera nos la da. Entonces, para aquellos que quieran completarla, es una misión un poco curiosa. Deben de resistir el tener la hacienda Warmick hasta haber llegado al instituto. De esa forma evitarán que precisamente pase este problema. Realmente creo que van a ser las únicas 3-4 misiones que no he podido mostrar en esta guía, dado que se han glitchado. Por ahí en fuera ha quedado bastante completa. Ahora sí, sin más preámbulos, vamos a completar este acto con la batalla de Bunker Hill.
Hello, Mother. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
After everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Mother. Of course, you're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. They no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs?
They're crazy, thinking machines are alive.
Agreed. However noble they may believe themselves to be, they are thieves. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
I'm not sure why you'd bother.
Aside from taking back our property, we must teach them a lesson, as it were. And quickly at that. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Is it just me, or will I have backup?
Of course, sir. We'll be waiting for you outside Bunker Hill. You'll have support should you need it. But we want to keep this small.
Una vez que recibimos la misión nos podemos dirigir a Bunker Hill para activarla. Realmente es irrelevante avisarles o no a las otras dos facciones, ya que sin importar que lo hagamos, ellas harán acto de presencia, como podrán imaginarse. Pero ahora que está aquí ustedes puedan ver qué es lo que ocurre si hablamos con ellos, pues vamos a mostrárselos.
I have something urgent to report, Elder. The Institute is attempting to recover escaped synths at Bunker Hill.
How did you obtain this information? Our reconnaissance hasn't reported anything of the sort.
I thought I was your Institute reconnaissance.
You're the only one that's been able to breach the Institute. But you're hardly the only source for information we have. We've been running round-the-clock vertibird patrols, and we even have squads on the ground trying to pick up anything we can. Not to mention all the scribes we have monitoring radio traffic and trying to crack their RF encryption. I assure you, we have reconnaissance well in hand.
I have it on good authority. You'll just have to trust me.
Protecting your source, is it? Very well. Since you've given me no reason to doubt you in the past, your word will suffice. Your report provides us with a golden opportunity to state our intentions to the Institute. I'm placing you in command of this mission. Exterminate the synths at Bunker Hill, and whomever the Institute sends to retrieve them. I'll instruct Kells to assign you the appropriate backup. Dismissed, soldier.
The Institute knows about Bunker Hill. They're planning to recapture the synths there.
The timing couldn't be worse. The old man's been sitting on those 4 synths. There's nowhere else that's safe we could put them. Maintaining your cover is vital. But the sacrifice is just too great.
How much damage would it cause if we let them hit us?
We're running out of places to hide our synths. That's why we put so many eggs in one crowded basket to begin with. So what would we lose? 4 synths, Stockton, some of our best agents, and the inevitable civilian casualties? No, not this time. We've never known when and where the Institute would strike us next. But now we have a chance to turn the tables. We wait until the enemy is in position, then we hit them hard. No one they send out comes back alive except you. Understand?
Oh, is that all? Need anything else while I'm at it?
No. Just keep defying the odds. We can't attack too early. We need to draw them into the kill zone, and then spring the trap. You'll know when. You'll probably have a Courser escort. You'll have to take him down. You've done it before, but it'll still be dangerous.
Like you said, I've done it before.
It's a risk, but it's one we have to take. So get it done.
Y después de esa pequeña plática que tuvimos con ambas facciones, es como se alerta que ellas se van a inmiscuir en esta situación. Ahora bien, es importante que tengan preparado una partida salvada, ya que esta zona y esta misión que vamos a activar es muy buena para llenarse realmente de todo tipo de armas, armaduras, en fin, de los mejores ítems del juego, realmente de forma prácticamente ilimitada, ya que hay una enorme cantidad de NPCs luchando entre ellos, y mientras no los ataquemos directamente no van a ser hostiles, pero nuestro acompañante sí los puede eliminar. Entonces eso nos puede realmente beneficiar muchísimo y podemos llenarnos de todos los materiales que queramos para equipar nuestro NPCs en asentamientos, para equiparnos o simplemente para hacer un dinero extra. Entonces ya saben, si quieren equiparse de todo tipo de armas, aprovechen esta misión. Por lo pronto vamos a continuar avanzando.
I've been waiting for you.
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed? Our targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover. The situation appears to have escalated. A covert approach is likely impossible. The mission's parameters just changed. We go in shooting. Requesting
X4.
Find and secure the synths.
Y así empieza la batalla de Bunker Hill, empieza una balacera a diestra y siniestra. Como pueden ver, a nosotros ni nos pela. Como les decía, se pueden equipar a diestra y siniestra, ya que como pueden ver, los NPCs empiezan a matar entre ellos, entonces ustedes pueden pasar como Juan por su casa. Por cierto, matar a enemigos en esta situación no los hará hostiles de ninguna manera. Entonces se pueden dar gusto y simplemente acabar con ellos. O pueden hacer que nuestro acompañante acabe con la mayoría de ellos. Es, como pueden ver, invencible. Es un poco idiota para disparar. Y como pueden ver, no podemos quedar con sus materiales. Pero ustedes prácticamente nos van a ignorar, dado que estamos aliados con todas las facciones. Para entrar simplemente pueden esquivar por aquí, o del lado derecho hay una puerta, lo que ustedes prefieran. Bueno, ahí está la puerta. No me se metido hasta un saqueador aquí a la batalla. No se preocupen demasiado por el resto de los personajes, están todos protegidos como invencibles. Entonces no se mueren y la mayoría se va a cubrir. Como pueden ver, la mayoría están aquí cubiertos. Como pueden ver, la hermandad con su equipamiento es la más fuerte. ¡Ay, sí le di! ¡Cuidado, va a estallar! La batalla va a durar un muy buen rato. Como ven, la habíamos destruido, pero se vuelve a meter. Y yo sé que metió incluso uno de mis proveedores a la batalla. Bien, esto es un caos total. Pueden quedarse un buen rato aquí para llenarse ítems hasta más no poder. Y la misión no continuará hasta que ustedes desciendan por el sótano. Y prácticamente los enemigos aparecen de forma ilimitada. Como pueden ver, ninguno me ataca, ya que estoy de una u otra manera aliados prácticamente con todos. Y los importantes como este son invencibles, así que no se preocupen por ellos. Y aquí adentro también una batalla campal. Nada más que a diferencia de arriba, aquí los enemigos son limitados. No sé quién está en el instituto, está dando sus buenos granados. Ni siquiera nos podemos llevar la armadura. Porque las necesitas, así que con permiso. El ferrocarril ya le está teniendo las de ganar y este cuate se agarró la metralleta. ¿Qué pasó con este tipo? Parece que se glitchó. Estaba glitchado.
What just happened?
Got trouble.
Lo siento muchachos, pero no puede haber sobrevivientes.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
What's this about money?
Yes, money. Here. 60 caps. That's all I've got. We're good, right?
F633. Initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus. All right, Synth.
Please.
Why don't you want to go back?
I don't know. I wanted my own life, I guess.
C322, initiate reset. Authorization code Gamma 49 Typhoon. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
Whoa. Why are you so afraid?
I don't want to go back. Please, don't make me go back.
B257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. No sudden moves.
Please, no.
What's so bad about the Institute?
I couldn't take it anymore.
Y915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest.
That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and good work.
Misión cumplida, muchachos, hora de reportar. No olviden lootear absolutamente todos los cadáveres, que esta zona estará repleta de cosas buenas para nosotros. Por cierto, realmente da igual cómo se llama si no los hubieran matado, ya que no afecta para nada su relación con el instituto, así que no se preocupen. Nos podemos quedar con todo y haber usado a nuestra conveniencia toda esta situación.
Sean?
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It wasn't always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
Your unconditional love is overwhelming. I think I need a moment.
I can accept that you're offended. You must understand, though. I have had no love to feel. We have been strangers until now, you and I. Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else. Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Well, here I am. Was it worth it?
I believe so. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
What do you mean, the synths will be repurposed?
Modifications will be made to correct the defects in their programming, and they'll be assigned to new duties within the Institute. Not the first or last time it will happen. The railroad remains an annoyance, of course. But they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Any idea where they went?
No sé, pues el helicóptero dando vueltas me tiene de los nervios. Y después de esa pequeña plática es momento de continuar con nuestro destino y saber qué es lo que va a ocurrir ahora que hemos completado esta misión. Como les comenté anteriormente, no afecta en absolutamente nada el hecho de avisar o no a las facciones, así como el hecho de haber eliminado o no a miembros durante esta batalla, ya que realmente no nos afecta en lo más mínimo en la relación con las otras facciones. Así que bueno, como les recuerdo una última vez, que esa misión es muy buena para llenarse de todo tipo de buenos materiales. Ahora bien, vamos a acudir a esa reunión para ver qué es lo que sigue con esta facción del instituto. Tú quédate cuidando aquí, chunchumaro.
Unit X688 speaks
Good,
highly
we're all
of your
here.
combat skills.
I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. We're still monitoring the increased activity around Fort Independence, but there are no immediate signs we should be concerned. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Excuse me, but, sir, are you sure this is, well, the proper time to be discussing that? Considering, I mean, given all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I have no idea what that is.
I'll admit I'm relieved. It's intended to be something of a classified project, which I'm sure means everyone already knows about it. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ao. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I am not overly fond of putting my own mother in harm's way, she has proven more than capable of handling herself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry, this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
No! You
can't be serious! Everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
There must be something we can do to help you.
The only thing that matters now is continuing the Institute's work. It will be all right. I assure you, we can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my mother as my successor.
Oh, boy. You can't be serious!
Really?
How can you possibly justify this? She isn't one of us. She isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my mother has already proven herself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Mother. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean, to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. There's no question that some of the Directorate, and the Institute at large, will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead, for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Allie.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
I need some details here. I have no idea what I'm getting into.
Of course, that's why we're talking. Otherwise, you'd be up top already. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
Ah, man. I have one of those, but it's in my other pants.
You wouldn't recognize one if it fell on your head. That's why I'm going to retrieve it.
You're going? That complicates things.
Not really, no. I admit I'm not fond of going up top, but I promise to stay out of your way. This device we're after? It's very sensitive equipment, and it's pretty damn old. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I trust myself more. So, are you going to put up a stink, or can we get moving?
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
Y después de esa reunión parece que ahora también somos los líderes, por lo menos temporales, del instituto, haciendo que esta situación se haya complicado al máximo y llegando a su clímax. Es a partir de ahora que la historia se divide en 4 opciones, ya sea que apoyemos al instituto, nos aliemos con la hermandad, los Minutemen sean los que enfrenten la situación, o nos aliemos con el ferrocarril. Sea como sea, únicamente una de las facciones va a sobrevivir, a excepción de que lo hagamos con los Minutemen, que en ese caso, pues bueno, solamente una facción tendrá que perecer. A partir de este momento la guía se va a dividir en cada una de las 4 facciones para que ustedes puedan continuar avanzando según la facción que ustedes quieran. Cabe destacar que este es precisamente un punto ya de no retorno, entonces aquí conviene guardar, crear una partida aquí para que puedan precisamente avanzar en cualquiera de las otras 4 facciones. Ya hemos dejado las cosas suficientemente adelantadas para que sea fácil cambiar de una a otra y realmente avancemos sin mayor problema a lo largo de lo que nos falta en la historia, y con esto concluir el juego. No olviden revisar también la lista de videos secundarios para avanzar en las misiones que tengan pendientes, ya sean misiones radiantes o misiones secundarias, para de esta forma poder completar al máximo el juego y obtener el platino. Yo de momento en este episodio me despido y nos veremos hasta el epílogo, donde podremos hacer una pequeña conclusión y cerrar esta guía. Les agradezco mucho al haber estado pendientes a lo largo de estos 13 episodios, si incluimos el prólogo por supuesto. Y si tienen duda de los DLC o los otros contenidos, pues no olviden echar un pequeño vistazo. Yo creo que esta guía ha quedado bastante completa y realmente te guiará de la mano para sacar el máximo provecho. Por lo pronto me despido, muchas gracias por ver y los dejo con cualquiera de las 4 facciones para que avancen la historia. Gracias por ver y hasta la próxima. Chao.
You will never know when the morning comes. You will dissolve into the air. Please hear my cry. Please hear my cry. Oh, blessed future, I'm on my knees. With these broken hands, I will pull you close to me. The wind wants to know what's the open your eyes, oh, answer our call to arms, our call to arms. Don't lie to yourself, heed our call to arms again. Fight your weakness. Oh, love and harmony.
Listen, Bunker Hill doesn't want any trouble. You have some seriously powerful friends. If it'll keep us on their good side, consider yourself to have the run of the place. And the next time you need something, just ask, all right?
Sacred future.